Men, when did you normalize having women characteristics and still calling yourself men? There are things you're doing out here online and in society, and we are wondering, is this a man or is just a woman in a man's body? You're calling yourself he, she, whatever it is you call yourself. Women here, please don't. We have to address this because there are things, if society continues like this, we're going to have big problems, and we're already seeing them. 3 things here. Number 1, how can you come online, type comments there insulting fellow men, go live on TikTok, and the only thing you do is gossip, insults, bashing your fellow men, bashing women, bashing children, and then you stay there and you call yourself a man? Since when did men accept and normalize talking trash? The same people who we are supposed to be leading and guiding society, you're guiding society in gossip, destruction. And then when a fellow man is falling, for whatever reason, he might have done whatever it is he has done, or she might have done whatever it is she has done. But you as a man, instead of coming to correct, you're coming to tear the person down. You're coming to bash the person. Is it out of envy? Is it that you've become so feminine that you cannot contain your emotions and channel them out in a manner and a way that can actually help somebody and assist your fellow men? But because gossip is interesting and people are going to follow it, and you're looking for views and followers and gifts on TikTok, you will come here and gossip and talk and all trash talk everybody, and then you stay there and call yourself a man. We're coming to something here because this is detrimental. Number 2, my fellow Kikuyu men, circumcision is part of life. We are the only community that has to publicize it every year. Every year. Publicize, put stickers all over. And then when you take these boys to become men, they are not taught anything. Nothing. It's just taken through the blade and then they come out. They have no clue what it is to become a man. Everything we do nowadays, Kikuyu people, we have to publicize it. You have an issue with your wife, you come and tell us. You have an issue with so and so, you come and tell us. You have an issue with your side chicks, you come and tell us. You have an issue with your land, you come and tell us. You have any single issue that is supposed to be private, you have to come online. Trash talk, a man, gossip, and you still there, you stay there and think this is okay. How many lives have we gone to? People have hundreds of followers on the live, and you listen to the key messaging is this kind of gossiping, this kind of trash talking, because in society is looking for that. It's not that society needs that or is looking for that. It's just that because bad energy feeds everybody and fuels everybody, and people want to hear about that. They're looking at you and wondering, are you okay? We're looking at you and we're wondering, are you okay? Is this the only type of content? Is it the only type of conversations that you can have? And to make matters worse, most of you who are vocal online like this, when you come to out here in society, you keep quiet. When something is wrong, you keep quiet. I was in Eldoret the other day. I'm still on point 2 here, my Kikuyu people. I was in Eldoret the other day. Some guy comes there, he's drunk and starts trash talking in front of fellow men. And the men kept talk to him. They made him keep quiet. Because kwani amekunywa pombe gani yenye wewe hujai kunywa? Huyu ni pombe gani hiyo wewe hujawai? He kept quiet. So the pretense in the man who thought he's high and mighty because he's high on alcohol, meishia hapo. What is happening in this society where a man is no longer a man? You can't talk. Because when you talk, the only things that come out of your mouth, nobody even wants to hear them. And the people who want to hear them, they will hear them because it's useless information or trash talking. Hey, I'm using these words so that you can wake up. Right now, there are things that I'm saying and they're going over your head because the only thing you're seeing is another man complaining. You're seeing a man complaining. I'm giving you information that is actually supposed to make you think what is wrong with this society that we're living in. Number 3. And we're not done yet. Number 3. A man who is too feminine eventually is useless to people. Eventually is useless to people. You cannot keep quiet because that is how you are taught. You cannot accept things just the way they are. You cannot just sit and let things just be. Well, you are a man. You have to take a stand. When things are not okay, speak out. Because nowadays, speaking out, the only thing you can speak out is now throw insult. No, I'm talking about speaking out and actually doing something that is going to contain the situation or solve that problem if there is a problem. Most of you just insult each other. The minute you meet somebody else, the first thing before you even greet them is it's an insult. You cannot have a society of men that we're having right now, that women are the ones who are above everything. We're calling them feminists and other names and all that. Okay, that's okay. But you cannot allow society to be in full control. Women are in full control. And then when they get to that level of control, they are pissed off because they are wondering, what are these men doing? What are these men doing? Because let me give you a scenario. You're in a business somewhere, and people cannot actually notice there's some things that need to be done here. A woman, when she goes to speak to other people, most people will not listen to her because she's a woman. Yes, she's the owner of that business. So she's expecting the man who either she's married to, dating, or she has around her, or she has hired to handle this situation. But all of you are quiet. So now the woman is seated there wondering, so did I hire the wrong man? Do I become a man? Or what do I do? So the women have to step up. Now you're thinking I'm praising women. Again, it's going over your head. You not get the point here. For that, in that situation, the woman is expecting a man to step up so that you can assist her, so that this business can continue with no problems. Women who are in business are getting what I'm saying. You cannot have a substrata of men in society who act like women, who argue like women, who shout whenever there's a situation instead of resolving, who cannot control their emotions anyway. You don't have a hold of your emotions in any way. My Kikuyu people, especially, something is not right down here. Out here, something is not right. Look at the people who are online, the men who are online when you go on social media, especially like my Kikuyu people. Look at the way they talk. Look at the way they talk and how they bash each other, trash talking everybody. You wonder, what is wrong with this society? And we are going to sit here, talk about this, push it out, and then you'll quiet down and go back to your default settings because Joel, sasa tufanye aje? Sisi tuko hapa tuchape biz. Tuko hapa to go viral. Sasa ndagoaje viral nikisipongea vibaya? Ndagoaje viral nisipotusi watu wawili watatu? And then when a man steps up, my last point, when a man steps up and start telling you these things, all of you come to the same very person and start bashing him. So the same information he was telling you to stop doing those things, so you start becoming a man. Become a man. If you're a man and you've ever been told by a woman, be a man, and you didn't get it because it went over your head again, it's time to be a man. And if you do not know what being a man is, because no one has taught you what being a man is, look for a fellow man. Look for me. Look for a fellow man who you can tell this is a man. Because being a man is not having balls and a dick in between your legs. There are so many things that make a man a man. Being a man is not just having money and a big car. There are things that make you a man. Being a man is not having kids. We can all have kids. We also have sperms. I am serious with you right now because this conversation is the type of conversation we need to have. This going to podcasts and talking, trash talking and talking useless things most of the times, it needs to stop. And if it makes money for you, it makes sense. Okay, you continue. See how far it's going to go. You need to become a man. I know we have heard this saying so much, be a man. Most of you do not understand what that means. You need to stop doing all these things. Step up. Act like one. Solve problems. Look at societal problems and solve them. Stop taking societal problems and making them your own and then start trash talking and start doing things that we would expect children to do. That is not being a man. If you're in a situation where you have done things with a woman in private, stop coming online and telling us about it. Now, if you're doing that, what will a woman do? And women here, please get me right. Get me right. This conversation is about these men. They need to step up. There are so many women right now who are listening to this. And I'm 100% sure if they tell you why they feel they're married to a boy, they're dating a boy, or they are working with a boy, or they hired boys, it's because of these things. They can't step up. You cannot stand firm and say what it is you want to say. You cannot sit upright and say what it is you want to say. And when you say it makes sense. When you come up with a solution to a problem, it makes sense. When you go even into society, let's say there's an event happening somewhere, people are expecting you to have a solution for something. You have none. When you go to church, things that are happening in church nowadays, it is out of control because men are not in control. The things are happening in church right now. It's because men are not in control. The men who are there in that church, they're not in control. They have allowed things to just happen. A country, a society cannot be led by weak men. When you have weak men in society, society falls. When you have strong men in society, and strong men is not just strength, emotionally, intellectually, thoughtfully, wise men, those are the men that rule society and make society a better place. These type of other men who are all over the place with no firm stand on what they believe in, what they stand for, is what is making this society fail.